Welcome to Jet Life Stadium. Hit it!
Hey, what's going on, Jet fans? This is Randy with the One Jets Pod. Just sitting here editing, getting ready to upload this week's show, and happened to come across a post on Twitter or X. Joe Badlands, maybe it's just me, maybe I'm just a dumbass, and that's a possibility. I don't know who that is, to be honest with you. But apparently, according to him, Joe Douglas is a C+ GM. And there are some fans that are agreeing with that take. And honestly, I just don't understand it. I mean, this guy has come in, completely shifted the culture, changed the culture. I mean, it's like a family environment. Players love playing here. I mean, you saw the Thomas Morstead post-game interview. I mean, the dude was practically in tears talking about how much he loves playing here, playing for Joe Douglas, playing for Robert Saleh. I mean, are there criticisms? Absolutely. Does he have faults? Sure. They all do. I mean, I remember at one point, I forget his name, the dude in Philadelphia, he was on the hot seat at one point. I mean, it was, oh God. Maybe a little over 10 years ago. And look at him, he's still here. So, I just don't understand it. Joe hasn't hit on every draft pick, but he's hit on some major good ones. He's built the core unit of this franchise for years to come. Does he hit on all the free agencies or all the free agents? No. But my thing is maybe that's not Joe's forte. Like, from what I'm learning through what Joe Douglas is doing so far that he's been the GM here, is we don't build this team through free agency no more. You know, we don't rely on blowing our load on trades. Like, our thing now is building through the draft and developing players, which we're doing. You can't say we're not. I mean, we've wanted this for the Jets for, I can't remember how long. I mean, at least 27 years for me. It's like, oh my God, the Jets are finally developing players. Guys that could be here long term. And that's the thing with Joe. He's always thinking about the future of this franchise. I mean, it clearly showed today on X and all over social media that the Jets were heavily involved in talks with the Raiders and the Buccaneers for either Mike Evans or Devontae Adams. Just didn't materialize. And I said that on this week's show. Joe Douglas was never just sitting on his ass, laid back, doing nothing. Like, anybody that fucking thinks that about Joe Douglas is clueless and has not been paying attention the last 3 years. Like, literally not been paying attention. Or you just like to give hot takes for hot take's sake and just say bullshit. But this guy has completely changed everything about this franchise. I remember when he first came in the first couple of years, I kept saying to myself, I don't know what the right way feels like, but I kind of feel like this might be the right way. It feels good. Sounds logical, makes common sense. So I don't understand this whole C+ GM take. I would say A-, B+ at best. Like, this guy, there's not many like him. And some of the trades that he has pulled off, he's fleeced other teams. Like, I'm sure there are teams that don't even want. I mean, the Raiders and the Buccaneers. I mean, they probably were intimidated by Joe Douglas. They probably like, nah, you know what? No, this guy. Nobody wants to deal with the Jets in trades. And they know who's on the other end. The sniper, Joe Douglas. I just don't understand that take, and some of the fans that can't clearly understand and have not visually seen the change that this franchise has gone through over the last 3 years. Literally was handed chicken shit and is basically serving up ribeye. I mean, you can't say that's wrong. from what he was handed, he's completely stripped it down, rebuilt it. Now we have one of the top 3, top 5 defenses in the league. We got weapons on offense. We all know if we just had, middle of the pack to top 20 quarterback play, we are a Super Bowl contender. And what they're doing with Zach, I mean, he was well on his way, and then he kind of had a step back game against the Giants. I mean, that's kind of a mix up, that's as far as faults are concerned, that's a mix of himself and Nate Hackett. Like we've seen what this kid can do. I mean, you'll see it in the episode. We've talked about it. But you've seen what this kid can do. Like, sprinkle that shit into the game plan. Let's see some 2-minute drive at the end of, the first half. Even if you got a lead, go down and pad that lead. Really boost that momentum going into the second half. But anyways, this is about Joe Douglas. I think fans just need to cool their jets on the guy a little bit and appreciate what he's done and what he's doing. I mean, look at the team he's built. This is a resilient freaking ball club. I mean, you can't say we're not winning games that we shouldn't be winning. Almost winning games that we shouldn't be winning, although we probably should have won. Kansas City. I mean, if I would have told you right now, the minute Aaron Rodgers went down and they released the information that he was out for the year, Achilles, if I would have looked over you and said, hey, it's cool, man. We're going to be, going into that Chargers game, we're going to be 4-3. You would have looked at me and said, bullshit. You probably looked at me and said, man, we'll be 1-6, 2-5 at best. And you would have believed that. With all your heart, you would have believed that was Zach Wilson starting at quarterback. And of course, you would have been like, oh, we got to get another quarterback. We got to go out and trade for so-and-so. Like, if we're going to be 4-3 with the bye, we got to go out and get a quarterback. We got to go out and get a quarterback. Like, that's what you guys would have been saying. Like, nobody would have believed anybody that would have told, hey, we're going to be 4-3 at the bye. Or going into the Chargers game Monday night. And that's a credit to the team that Joe Douglas has built. Like I said, you saw the Thomas Morstead post-game interview. The guy got emotional. He loves playing here. He's so appreciative of the fact that Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh took a chance on him, after he got hurt in New Orleans. I mean, they built a family, atmosphere, a family-like vibe throughout the organization. Like, everybody leans on one another. It's a brotherhood, especially in that locker room. So anybody, and also anybody says that Saleh has lost the locker room, it's just, you're stupid or a liar. One of the two. This team loves their coach. They even love their GM. Because their GM treats them like human beings. Views them as people. And not just pawns in the game. I mean, at the end of the day, both sides understand that it's a business and you got to do what's best for the organization. That's just how it works. But while you're here, and even while you're gone, if you need help, you can always knock on Joe Douglas's door. You pick up that phone, give him a call. I guarantee you he's always willing to help somebody. His family comes first. And that's what we are, One Jets Drive. We're a goddamn family. And that's thanks to Joe Douglas and Robert Saleh. So all this bullshit and negativity, C plus GM, that is such a lousy fucking take. And as far as I'm concerned, you could take that, and if you believe that, you could take that take and shove it so far up your ass, you could take it to another fucking team. Like, I mean, there's no real fucking Jet fan believes this man's a C plus GM. And I don't care who disagrees with me on that. I, for one, love the culture that's being built at One Jets Drive. I mean, I watched all you guys during Hard Knocks. I watched you guys, during the One Jets Drive episodes. And clearly, I can see that you guys see the culture that we're building here. And all because he can't land the move that he wanted to land at the trade deadline. Like, all of a sudden, you guys, he's C plus GM. He's over there sitting on his fucking hands, which Joe would never do. Would never sit on his hands, sit idly by and just like, oh no, we're cool. Never. And anybody that believes that, again, is a dumb shit. And you can take that take and shove it so far up your ass. Because you obviously don't know who Joe Douglas is if you think he's just sitting on his fucking hands doing nothing. That's stupid. Stupid. So, I mean, that's all I got. I just had to come on here and rant. I'm sorry for the way everything is. I don't even got my headphones on. Like I said, editing. My voice is shot for the evening. I'm out of water. I'm tired. I've even changed into my going to sleep shirt, my editing shirt here, so I figured I'd put on the hat. I haven't even taken anything down yet, so. But again, that's just what I wanted to come on here and rant. Like, show some love to the guy who's completely changed his franchise around. I mean, I truly believe, you know, especially with Aaron Rodgers, if he comes back this year, and especially when he comes back next year, I truly believe that this franchise is close to winning the Super Bowl. They're Super Bowl contenders, that's for sure. That's all I can ask. So thank you, Joe Douglas, for that. So, again, that's all I got. Thanks again for checking us out here on the One Jets Pod. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button if you're watching us on YouTube. Again, if you check us out on our audio platforms, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, make sure to follow us. Give us a 5-star rating. We always appreciate that. It really helps us out, guys. Again, thanks for checking us out, and I'll see you down the road. Go Jets.
Welcome to Jet Life Stadium. Hit it!